In a nation as diverse and vibrant as ours, the provision of sufficient, nutritious food is not merely a goal. It is a fundamental priority that we must pursue with dedication and vigor across all tiers of government. I'm honored to join you today for this shared objective. The Yobe State Agricultural Empowerment Program couldn't have come at a better time. There is no way we are going to achieve our grand goals as a government, whether at the state or national level, until we support and empower our farmers. We must ensure that they have the tools, resources, and knowledge to optimize their production capacity.
He noted that agriculture remains the best way to go for Nigeria to avert food insecurity.
We have recently approved the creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development. This is intended to improve livestock production in the country and enhance the destiny and narratives of our livestock production. This is in tune with global best practices for healthy meat and dairy consumption and export to improve the economy. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the provision of massive agricultural machines and implements by the Yobe State government has no doubt prepared the ground for an agricultural revolution in Yobe State. I am optimistic that at the end of the cropping season, the people of the state will have sufficient food, both for their households and for export within the country and beyond.
The Vice President launched the program on behalf of President Tinubu and inspected the inputs and equipment at the August 27 Stadium in the Maturu. This massive investment in agriculture by the Boni administration is the biggest in the history of the state, which will boost agriculture in the northeast states.
Okay, Biko, you know, like a revolution, I see something happening in the area of food security. But then let me quickly welcome our colleague, Majid Jamil. Majid, I greet you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And good evening, Nigerians.
Yeah, Biko.
Yes, you know, me Malabune is one of the most underrated governors in Nigeria.
Okay.
Until you go to some states in our country, you won't know how good some governors are.
Yeah.
A lot of us sit in Lagos waxing lyrical about Nigeria. And we demonstrate a lack of sufficient knowledge about our country because we don't travel enough. We believe that some places are too distant to go to. I can tell you that until I went to Yobe State late last year,
okay,
I never knew that the biggest mother and child care center in Nigeria was in Yobe.
Okay.
I never knew that in Yobe, care for people suffering from renal failure is free. And it's one of the most expensive treatments you can get anywhere else in our country.
Yeah.
It's free in Yobe. I have interviews of people thanking the governor because they've not been paying a dime.
Wow.
They've not paid a dime for treatment. And some of them have been there receiving dialysis for so long. Now, it appears to me like someone who, when he wants to do his thing, he does it with conviction. He does it sufficiently.
Yeah.
When they were sharing palliatives, clearly the governor of Yobe State was in the lead.
Really?
They were taking, you see palliatives being put in trailers, driven to communities. It's not like staying in one place and just share. No. There was a Boko Haram ravaged community. They took palliatives there. We showed the videos here. It's not, you are not going to struggle. They lined up bags of rice for people to be picking. You know the way Zulum does his thing.
Yeah.
That's what he did too. Now look at what he has chosen to do now in the area of agriculture.
Yes.
Because if you watch the event live on Saturday, you will be amazed at the extent to which this governor has gone. So clearly, in my view, he just decided to take his time and then come up with a program that is so all-inclusive.
So he's
100 Zoom Lion tractors.
Wow.
100 10 MC double cabin 4-wheel drive vehicles for supervision by extension service workers. So those who will be teaching farmers tricks, new tricks about agriculture, they also have what they will drive around with. 200 motorcycles for extension service workers.
I saw them in the picture, yeah.
300 sets of ox drain plows. 5,349 goats. 1,349 hand-push planters. 889 hand-push plow machines. 500 hand-push tiller machines. 4,202 solar-powered irrigation water pumps. Because we want farming to be an all-year-round affair. All-round year affair. You cannot do that without irrigation. So you can see what they've done. 72,000 bags of fertilizers and assorted seedlings. So 30 farmers in each of the 178 electoral wards will benefit from this scheme in the first instance. 5,340 farmers will benefit from the scheme, the grand scheme of things. And the tractors are to be kept at the State Agricultural Development Program centers in Damaturu, Buneyadi, Geidam, Geshua, Unguru, and Potiskum, so that what happened in Kogi will not happen in Yobe.
Okay.
Tractors that were bought with government funds
I'm ferried away.
were taken to, in some cases, as far as Enugu State.
State.
They brought them back from Enugu. Some Kaduna, disused. The new governor had to now begin to refurbish them so that they can use them. Now, the irrigation center, the irrigation scheme in Lava, 2,000 hectares. The governor is set to revive it. The same government has also established 4 sesame seeds processing factories in Damaturu, Unguru, Mashina, and Potiskum. Mashina is the community where they don't kill snakes. Yes, that's the way it is. And then, of course, the Damaturu International Cargo Airport will now be effectively used to transport livestock meat. By the way, Yobe is Nigeria's #1 state when it comes to livestock.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Now
number one in Nigeria. So the cargo airport will help in transporting livestock meat, dairy products, gum arabic, sesame seeds, cowpea, groundnuts within and outside our country. So what we can see clearly is a state governor collaborating with the federal government to develop agriculture, come up with policies that will help us achieve our goal of diversification from petrol that has now become like a cost to us, you know. So they are trying now to work with the federal government to also set up the livestock development centers that will help check the violence that we usually
Yeah.
experience between farmers and herders. So this governor has really done well, and with the assistance of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation,
Okay. I see
yes,
what you
in
mean.
the state, they will be able to take agriculture to the next level
This
in
is-
Yobe State.
More or less thinking out of the box.
Yes, and that's why I said that, look, he's one of the most underrated governors, because you see him, even when he was a APC caretaker chairman, people were saying, no, he was not doing anything. But a lot of projects were done. When it comes to primary health care, the way Governor Malabuni has expanded access is amazing. I've been to all parts of our country. There's no state that I've not been to at least 2 or 3 times. I can tell you that what he's doing in the area of primary health care is only rivaled by Borno State.
Yeah.
Which,
Pictures don't tell lies. You look at
yes,
this
all of
image.
these things, there's no way to not benefit the farmers. They can till their fields. They can do a lot with the support that government is giving. Now, they can stand on their own.
Yes.
This is better than simply giving people money. Handing out, give them the tools that they need.
You know the old Chinese saying, don't give a man a fish, teach him how to fish. This
Yes,
is it.
with the equipment that these guys will take, the fertilizer that you're going to provide, with the high yield variety of seedlings that you are going to provide, there's no way that the farmer won't be energized.
Are you telling me?
Yes.
Are you telling me? Majid, you were here when we talked about what Governor Sheyi Makinde was doing in Oyo State in the area of revolutionizing agriculture.
Yeah.
Okay. So if this thing happening in Yobe is like a bug, and people, governors are biting, the thing is biting states. Between now and 1 year, we can almost kiss food crisis good night.
We have always been clamoring for a departure from from our total dependence on crude oil.
Yes.
And I think the Niger State governor started it under this Tinubu. It was President Tinubu that went there to flag up the scheme. Then after that, Sheyi Makinde and some other states. But the
we saw Kogi.
of course, we saw Kogi too. And you see, the magnitude with which Mai Malabuni has done this in Yobe shows that this is a governor that really means business. What intrigues me in all of this is the fact that he is not looking at a wet season farming solution alone. He has also, as part of this 15 billion package, you can see solar-powered irrigation pumping, water pumps.
Okay.
That's, what it needs, it's been configured in such a way that just dig your well, put the solar pump there, it's pumping water.
That's it.
And in that place, you get up to 12 hours of sunlight on a daily basis. So it means that there are some certain crops that you can actually farm like
year round.
3 times a year.
Like maize, for example.
Like maize.
You see in Lagos, you pick maize say
24
July, August.
No, it's in some places in Lagos, it's 24/7. If you that or $10 bridge, if you go there any time of the year, I think the only time you don't get to eat maize there is just like maybe like 1 month. So what he has done is like a revolution. But I also want to plead that they should provide adequate security.
Yeah.
So that these characters,
farmers can return to their farm.
Farmers can
in peace.
Can actually go back. See, what one tractor will do in a day, it will take about 200 people, minimum of 1 week to do.
Yeah.
And he has bought 100 tractors. Then there are knapsack sprayers there. I mean, in multiples, to also assist in controlling diseases that ravages crops like tomatoes, cowpea, which is beans, and stuff like that. So it really means business. And in the next 3 months, we'll start seeing the dividends, multiplier effects, the dividends of this huge investment. And you see, the Ministry of Budget and Planning did something yesterday that I was so happy about.
In the state?
No, all over the country.
Okay.
They published the amount of money that the federal government has just released to all the states in the federation to do things like they call it community intervention programs. It's meant for things like this. I mean, it's part of the proceeds of the leftovers of COVID, but they now renamed it community intervention resilience program.
What an intervention this is turning out.
And a state like Zamfara got 49 billion naira. Ooh. And the state that got the least, Ogun State, got about 2-something billion. So these are, Yobe also got some huge amount from that. So we can see what some of the governors are doing with these interventionist funds from the federal government. So kudos to Yobe, and we want other states too to emulate this and also show us what they are doing with some of these funds, especially in the area of agriculture.
Otherwise, as we always say here, BKO, it can be done.
It can be done. We are seeing signs that it can clearly be done.
Really. Yeah. It is
kudos to Governor of Yobe State.
And as they say, I wish him Godspeed, in this revolution, in this drive. All right, we'll go on a commercial break. We should be back very shortly. Please stay with us. Thank you.
A fresh breath of air is blowing through Kogi State, north-central Nigeria, with the coming of Ahmed Usman Ododo as the 6th democratically elected governor of the state. In his first exclusive interview since assuming office on the 27th of January 2024, Governor Ododo tells TVC News Babajide Kolade Tutoju about his desire to build on the progress recorded by past administrations in the confluent state.
I have been in the system for over 8 years. We have carefully chosen our strategy and plans to ensure that we don't miss our step.
He said his administration is leveraging agriculture to boost the fortunes of the state.
I am proud to tell you today that I am a complete farmer. By engaging in agriculture, sir, it will guarantee food security or food sufficiency. That is one. It is another non-kinetic way of solving insecurity.
The governor also promised to expand the scope of infrastructure in the state with novel projects like an airport.
A state like Kogi State, if you don't have airports, then there's a problem. It's a vision which, by the special grace of God Almighty, with the effort Mr. President and the interest is putting, we're going to actualize it.
Watch the full interview with Governor Ahmed Ododo on journalist Hangout on Thursday, 25th of July by 5 p.m. only on TVC News. Don't miss it.
Quality, wires and cables, come and come back, light up your life. Come and want to light up your house, come and want to give you better, come and extraordinary wire. Come and cables, come and wires, come and quality, come and durable, come and capable, come and cables, come and wires, come and quality, come and durable, come and capable. Everybody, come and see, come and wires, wonder things, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, go get your own. Come and wires, come and cables, come and quality, come and durable, come and capable. Come and wires, come and cables, come and quality, come and durable, come and capable.
Coleman Wires and Cable. Great quality. Now with the new look.
All right, folks, welcome back. our next story. You know, the late South African leader, Nelson Mandela, reflected that intervention only works when the people concerned seem to be keen for peace. He saw it all, to be certain, I dare say. Nigeria's, nay, Africa's richest man and president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, is not a happy man as we speak. The ongoing issues surrounding his refinery and regulators, I beg your pardon, are so nagging. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokobiri, is intervening with a view to finding a sustainable solution to the current impasse between the refinery and regulators. Meanwhile, former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Gregory Yobe, has voiced a strong support for the Dangote refinery, urging the federal government to back it and not undermine it. Jabu, there's nothing like looking at you straight in the face and saying it as it is.
Honestly, it's like the federal government is allowing Peter Obi to be celebrated. Yeah, because for once, Obi nailed it in the head.
Yeah.
See, the first thing these characters did was to stop Dangote refineries from getting crude locally.
Locally, yeah.
So when he shouted that, see, these people, they are not giving me crude oil.
As expected.
As expected, after the initial 6 million barrels that they gave him, and 6 million barrels for a 650,000 capacity refinery.
Is
if it's
like
on
a pin in the
if it's on full, just because the Dangote is doing between 300 and 350,000 barrels per day now. So 6 million barrels will only take him like a month. So he had to make contingency arrangements from US and Brazil. So after that,
some people don't like it, it seems.
Now, since January, all the planes flying locally and internationally, and even from outside, from the Western coast, they have been taking jet A1, which is aviation fuel, from Dangote refinery. Nothing has happened to those planes. And one guy opened his mouth to say that the product has high sulfur content.
Okay.
That the diesel from that. Now, you see, what also baffles me is the fact that the Nigerian midstream, where Farouk is their head, they have 15 engineers inside Dangote refinery. And for him to come out with that baseless accusation, and Dangote, it's like Dangote has its own mechanism. And I love what the House of Reps members did for once. Of course, we have engineers there too, amongst the House of Reps members. They went there over the weekend. They took samples from the streets. And they went there, compared it with that of Dangote. That is, the difference was between, it's like day and night. And even if you have that kind of issue, you didn't tell Dangote management, you went on air to demarket what has been described as one of the best, the most modern refineries in the world.
Okay.
Just because of your selfish interest, and I believe that it is because some people have refused to give them a bribe. That is what causes some of these things.
Just leave that, since you don't have any proof.
No, you see.
They ask you to bring evidence.
This kind of things.
People give bribes.
This kind of things could be painful.
Yes, right. We know.
Honestly,
but for me,
people give bribes.
What you should underscore
if you ask the people who give bribes, they will not.
They will deny
it to you. So
they will deny.
You have to be careful.
Yes, I understand. But
people, they don't even need the bribes. If they are making money off importation, do you know the kind of money that some people are making?
They want importation to continue.
You remember that some people took money for subsidy, went abroad, imported petrol with our own money and took the petrol to Benin Republic
and Togo.
Sometimes they sold on the ICs to black marketers after taking money from us. And some of them, they put them on trial. So we know that the oil sector is a massive scam in our country.
That's it.
That is why every president wants to be minister of petroleum resources, because they know that, look, this is the live wire of our country, and they don't want to put it in the hands of just anybody. What we have seen with Dangote, because this is bad PR for the so-called leaders in that sector. Because the House of Reps leadership that came to Lagos to see things for themselves, just the same way Akpabio had come, the Senate president, they stopped by along the road leading to the refinery. They stopped by, bought diesel
samples
from 2 filling stations that were dispensing imported diesel. And they subjected it to a test. And Dangote diesel came up with flying colors. Wow. It was an overwhelming defeat. You know? An overwhelming defeat, the kind of defeat that Manchester United visited on Arsenal some years back. 8 goes to 2.
The man they look
8 goes to 2.
Leave him.
Because you know, I am a historian, and I don't like the fact that some people forget things easily. That is the parallel that I can find. What was the
last result? What was the last result? We won't go there.
No.
What was the last result, did they?
Let him remind me of any time that they beat us 8 goes to 2.
Lightning does not strike a place twice.
Except it can produce when they also victimized by 8 goes to 2.
The last one was 4-0-2-0. Home and away, we defeated you.
All right. No, BK, what you are saying provokes the question. So who is afraid of Alhaji Dangote?
The thing is, people want importation to continue. It's as simple as that. There are many problems in that sector. A sector in which our crude oil had been pre-sold.
Oh, yeah.
I was told initially that by July, some of those forward contracts will terminate.
Okay.
I'm again being told that the earliest now is around November. That maybe. So that person will say, even if we can gain extra 200,000 barrels, Nigeria will be happy. Some of them will still terminate years from now. That is the sector where we had 4 refineries. You are calling Dangote a monopolist. You have 4 refineries to man's 1. So who is the monopolist?
Who is monopolizing?
Is it the NNPC that claims that is the only importer? We know that is a lie from the pit of hell. They are not the only importers. Other people also they engage other people to import. We know this, you know, but that is a sector where transparency is difficult to find. People don't want to tell Nigerians the truth, and Nigerians are watching. Where somebody heads a sector and is telling us, by April, Port Harcourt refinery will start working. April comes, it didn't happen. May, June, July. We are being told again by the same person who has consistently lied to his country that, by August, we will start refining from there.
Remind him, August is next week.
August is just it's just around the corner. So we will wait again. Whether that same man will be able to face his countrymen and say, okay, this is what. Peter Obi does not need to come and talk before we know what is right. Before Peter Obi talked about this matter, we had been talking about it since last week.
Okay, I remember.
So we know what is right. You cannot have such a monstrous company and allow it to rot. At the same time, the people who have fears that, Dangote, we fear him because he's a monopolist, anything that he gets involved in, he doesn't want competition, this and that. That is why we have a Minister of Petroleum and a Minister of State for Petroleum. The Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Henneken Lokobri, has waded in. He's a gentleman and he's a capable leader. Even those of them who met with him admitted that, yes, he did very well. Now we want the president to empower the Minister of Petroleum Resources to be able to take far-reaching, Minister of State, to be able to take far-reaching decisions in his ministry, because we are going to assess him at the end of the day. We need our oil output to get to at least 2 million barrels a day. That is, for me, it is one way by which I will judge this government.
And we need our refineries to start working.
The refineries to work. Now, you know why I want 2 million barrels, in excess of 2 million barrels a day? Because these IOCs, they also have commitments to foreign clients. And we have refineries here. If we do not improve the output, our refineries, 4 of them, that is if Kaduna gets on stream, I don't know how they want to get crude to Kaduna. It's something that I've been thinking of, because I don't think they can do it through the pipelines. People have breached the pipelines here and there. Now, all of those refineries will need crude. Their foreign clients in Indonesia and other places, they will need crude as well. Dangote will need crude. If we do not increase the output, maybe now they say we are between 1.3, 1.4. Of course, that is not enough.
Still short
if your refineries are going to be working, if Dangote will be there, we can't be talking of 1.4.
Dangote will take 650,000.
We can't be talking of 1.4. There's no way that they will, if Otako is working, Wari is working, there's no way we'll get up to that. That's why I'm thinking that the only way, the only solution now, and I know that the president mandated the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, that this improvement in oil output is something that they must attain. I've not spoken with Governor Hope Uzodinma to know what they are doing at this point. But I want the president to know today that oil theft is worse than Boko Haram insurgency. Oil theft. Because for Boko Haram, their activities are limited to certain areas. The activities of the thieves, these oil thieves,
is impacting on everybody.
It's impacting on every one of us. So we need at this point to improve oil output. And the way to do that is to fight the oil theft. Fight the oil theft, then empower other people to get involved in oil prospecting. We have to encourage indigenous players to come into that sector, because the IOCs, a lot of them have refineries too in their country.
That they have
and they want to supply
obligations to them. And beyond that, Jide, I think just the same way the director of the State Security Service in U.S. was forced to resign today over the assassination attempt of former President
Trump.
I think somebody must be made to pay for wrongfully. I mean, if they later find out.
There's a story now, story that is breaking, that reps called for suspension of NMDPRA boss.
Yes, the
investigation.
Yes, it should be suspended.
Because they accused him of misleading
and the marketing your own.
So, MJ, when we talk about fifth columnist, this is what we mean.
See, it is coming to the open now. When Dangote started shouting, we said it's a monopoly. Okay, do your own, let your own refinery work now.
I don't know why your refinery
and it's not working.
He has only one, you have 4.
In December, you said you have concluded mechanical completion. We are approaching August. 8 months. How long does it take for between a switchover from mechanical conclusion and the main production? It took Dangote just 2 months. After mechanical conclusion, it started rolling out kerosene.
45%, but it's already exporting.
It's already exporting petrol,
diesel and Jet A1.
And Jet A1,
yeah.
and even kerosene.
He's already selling Jet A1 to our airlines.
They are using them.
He has been able to, standardize the prices of diesel in the country.
And some people are not happy.
They are not happy about that. They want to continue to sell diesel at 1,800.
Do you know that Dangote had to build in that refinery complex? He had to build his own port.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
He has his own port.
I saw the port. He built his own port so that because he received 150,000 containers while building this thing.
Yeah,
it's such a massive place.
Okay.
And with the inefficiencies in our ports, 150,000 containers is a lot. And then the kind of money that he will pay.
They will sabotage him.
So he had to build his own port.
They will sabotage
this man will
him.
build his own. He will build. This is the control. This,
he has
will build his own.
Roads. He has his own power supply.
Yeah.
Well, I have criticized this man in the past, but the truth is, we cannot say we want cheaper fuel. Nigerians are not happy that petrol is this expensive in their country. Any opportunity for the price to go down, because if you refine locally, the landing cost, the cost of insurance will not be added to the cost. So definitely it will be cheaper if we refine locally than if we bring it down.
Oh yeah.
Then secondly, the cost element for importation of PMS accounts for 1/3 of all our forest needs. So you can imagine if the NNPC stops importing fuel,
the pressure on the naira dollar exchange rate will come down.
The pressure on forex will come down.
It is no magic.
And at the end of the day, our currency will be stronger. And allied to that, if we are able to even boost production to like 2 million barrels a day, because we were doing that during Jonathan. If we can do that, of course, the currency will be a lot stronger against the dollar.
Thank you, BKO. Let's take on our last story for today, not the least one. Now, whereas the gesture of the members of the House of Representatives who cut their salaries the other day by 50% for the next 6 months was considered insalutary and therefore not enough. An attempt by federal legislators to serve on a part-time basis might be open to debate. Well, before joining the debate, hear this one. The senator representing Abia North in the Red Chamber of the National Assembly and chairman of Senate Committee on Appropriation, Orji Uzor-Kalu, has thrown his weight behind the implementation of a part-time legislature at both the federal and state levels. The idea, according to the federal lawmaker, is to cut costs drastically. But our checks reveal that no presidential system practices this anywhere. Shall we have a conversation, please? Because here we are again.
We can do it. We can do it.
Okay.
Yes.
If we desire to do it.
Yes, and we can have our own homegrown presidential system of government. We don't have to copy everything from America. And this one, we copied it from America.
Yeah.
But we are not rich enough for this brand of presidential system of government.
Okay.
We are simply, for example, I don't see why we can't have just one legislative house
unicameral
at the federal level. And it's been suggested that we can actually do with one. Senegal, former president of Senegal fired the Senate.
Yeah.
People will say, oh, that's a small country and all that. But I don't see why, if the current crop of politicians love this country, I don't see why we can't have just one legislative house. One, but it will represent our people effectively. And just as Senator Kalu said, this can significantly reduce the cost of governance. government expenditure will go down drastically. That is one thing that excites people, to hear that you are cutting costs. House of Reps, they forfeited 50% of their salary. Although people will say it's 50% of all their allowances, because the devil is in the allowances. People will say it's 50% of the allowances that they should forfeit. But they started somewhere. They are senior brothers in the Senate. Let us even see what Akpabio and his people
are ready to do.
Yes. Because Akpabio has always shown himself to be a generous man. He should be generous. And he should mobilize his people to be generous by doing what the House of Reps have done in the first instance, and then move on to see how they can further cut the cost of governance. Because the cost of running those two houses is massive.
It is.
So we are not saying that that's the only thing that needs to be done. Even the executive has to also deliberately cut cost of governance. Many people
share its weight.
Yes, many people today who are angry with the people in government, what they are saying is that, yes, we are going through pains, these are difficult times, but they've not seen a demonstration of the desire to cut cost of governance from our leaders, from the people in the National Assembly especially, and the governors at the state level. So if people will begin to see those steps being taken, honestly, the attitude towards people in government will change, because I say, oh, we are dying, we are starving, but you people are not feeling the pain. You are not feeling the fact that things are tough.
Imagine if state assemblymen and women elected to cut their salaries in half.
It's not the salary. The salary is not the issue.
It is the allowance.
It is the allowances.
The salary.
You see, everyone is privileged to know the salary of a senator, because it is public knowledge.
Okay.
With at the level of the what is it called, Federation
Revenue
Mobilization and Fiscal Commission.
Yeah.
People, you can know how much your president earns. There are people today who earn higher than the president in some of those government agencies.
Yeah.
Government ministries,
especially in the oil sector.
In the oil sector, no, they are not the only. Even DMO, they earn also big wages. So, but we can do something. Those allowances can go down. The number of aids that they carry around can go down.
Okay, it can.
Yes.
The aids, you can shed weight. MJ, so are you seeing what Senator Orji is saying?
Honestly, I give kudos to Senator Orji Uzor-Kalu, and I will implore him to take it a step further by coming up with a bill. They can actually sponsor a bill so that they can debate it and say, come, we want to actually save this country by, offering ourselves as a sacrifice by, opting for a part-time legislature.
Yeah.
And of course, they can make a law. Both the National Assembly. Akpabio is the chairman of the National Assembly. So this one coming from the upper chamber could be replicated at the lower chamber, and also the states of the federation too will take a cue. Then we will know that, yes, while telling us to tightening our bets, their own bets too are being tightened. They are not expanding their own bets.
The narrative will change.
The narrative will start changing. We'll start seeing them, that yes, for once, we are all on the same page. Not a situation where they are getting fatter and they are urging us that they are doing sacrifices for us, and we are getting lean. It's not easy anywhere. But coming from Senator Orji Uzor-Kalu, it's a very good development, and I want to see his other colleagues in the National Assembly supporting that cause, so that it will even reduce the penchant for from making politics a do or die affair.
Oh yeah.
Especially those who are gunning for positions in the National Assembly.
More so at a time like this.
At a time like this, yeah.
You know, one of the things that pain me the most about this National Assembly. They used to have their quotas.
Yeah.
Then we came up with a monetization policy.
They have sold everything.
And sold. So they are supposed to, now when any senator, a new senator comes on stream, you give him money for accommodation, give him money for furniture. But if they had not sold the place and they were simply going into Apple legislative quarter built for them.
Built for them.
Yeah. Purpose built for the lawmakers.
For National Assembly members.
In those days, we used to go there to see them. We go and see Senator Afikwe in his house in those days. And they all had their houses. So, but today, you must give any new senator coming and you give him the money that he will use to go and rent a house.
And furniture. Furniture. All right.
Whereas it was not like that before.
BKO, we must go, but let's thank you for your time, BKO. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We thank Majid Jamiu for his time too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, that will just about do it for the show for today. If you missed any part of it, not to worry. Later tonight at 11 o'clock, a repeat broadcast will take your airtime. So you tag in. On Sunday, we expand the fare for you. We always remind you of this from between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. And then, of course, to remind you, we are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein on behalf of the Backroom Boys saying thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.
Like many states across Nigeria, Kogi State faces several governance and developmental challenges. In his first exclusive interview, the new helmsman, Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo, told TVC News Babajide Kolade Otitoju he is out to make a difference. One area he's making his mark is workers' welfare, which he prioritizes.
I was once a civil servant. I know what it is for somebody to work for 30 days at the end of it all. You don't have anything to show for it. What to do is to look at our finances, make salary payment as priority. As it's coming in, we have to take care of it before going into any other expenditure. We are at 90% and we are going to get there.
Governor Ododo spoke on insecurity and vowed to give criminals coming into the state a bloody nose.
I will never negotiate with criminals. Rather, I will take that fight to them.
Never pay ransom to kidnappers.
I will never pay ransom to kidnappers. I am saying it. Let them hear me out. I will never. We are ready. They will always come in their numbers. They will go in their zeros. When you are negotiating with criminals, you are indirectly empowering them to get more sophisticated weapons.
Watch the full interview with Governor Usman Ododo on Journalist Hangout on Thursday, 25th of July.